Hey guys, you're going to want to check this video out. This is my top 5 games that I've been playing during quarantine, and you're not going to believe what number 2 is, so make sure you stick around to find out. Welcome back to McPherson Family Vlogs. As you see, I'm going to be talking about my top 5 games, like the most fun, maybe the most time I've put into games over the course of this last 2.5 months. But first, I'll share a little bit about my gaming history, a little bit about who I am as a gamer. So just so you guys know, I'm not like a die-hard competitive, that kind of gamer as much. Of course, I get competitive playing with my friends on the couch, but mostly just a casual gamer. And I, most of the time that I play is at night after my girls go to bed. I play for a little bit some nights, and so I really enjoy playing video games, and I am a Nintendo diehard fan. I've been a fan of their games for a long time, as long as I can remember. So you'll probably, that gives you a little hint about what's coming on this list. But I'm going to give you a quick tour of what my little setup looks like, some of the games that I have, and then we'll get started with the top 5 games that I loved this year during quarantine, the great American quarantine of 2020. So this is my living room area. Of course, got like the kids' toys and everything. But I do have an Xbox, but I don't ever play it, like hardly ever. We use it as a Blu-ray player more than anything. But this is like the main thing I play, which is my Nintendo Switch. I've got some Pro controllers and many years worth of goodies of old stuff that I have in this drawer. And then recently came into a Wii U from my brother-in-law who was trying to sell it. And so me and my wife took it over, and yeah, so the Switch is most of what I've been playing recently. We'll show you. And then in here in our little guest bedroom, we keep our games and stuff in here. I don't know if I've showed you guys this before or not, but Sam and I really enjoy Animal Crossing. So Amiibo, we have quite a few little Amiibo everywhere. But here's my little Switch collection. Not much going. 3DS from when I played a lot of 3DS games. And then all of these games came with the Wii U that I just bought recently, except for right over here, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 and the Legend of Zelda games. Those were mine. But yeah, anyway, super interesting. All right, are you guys ready to see this list? Let's get into it. All of the gameplay clips and little pieces of footage of all these different games that I'm going to show, it's not my own footage. It's typically taken from game trailers or other gameplay on YouTube, and I should be able to credit that down below. But in order to capture footage of yourself playing a video game, typically you have to have a capture card or some sort of device that translates it from your console into footage you can use on a computer. And I don't have that. I don't have the time or money to figure out how to use that at this time. We're just like a small family vlog. And so, but yeah, you guys take a look at some of this gameplay, and I'm going to show you guys my top 5 games, starting right now with number 5. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, that game came out a couple of years ago, I thought, and you would be right. It came out around Christmas of 2018, but they've continued to upload new characters and new stuff to the game all across the last year and a half, and right now the game is probably more popular and alive than it's ever been. I mean, people are playing it like crazy, and I enjoy playing it mostly, though, with friends. I've got a group of young men that I hang out with here in my local town, and us together, we just always love playing Super Smash. It's always a competition of who's the best, and I'm not normally the best, but I do enjoy playing with those guys, and so had to list it on here. If you're wondering who I play, a couple of characters that I play are Zero Suit Samus and the little dog called Isabelle. Those are like my favorite 2 characters. Play them a lot, and Isabelle in particular makes a lot of my friends really mad whenever I beat them using that little fishing rod move. So what can I say? It's a blast, and this game is an excellent game on its own, but playing it with friends, that's where it really shines. The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. Now, a lot of you have probably not heard of this game, and that's not too surprising. It's an old game. It came out on the Game Boy Advance, and I had to go back to the Advance to be able to even play this game, but it is a blast. See, the reason I came to this game is I was looking at a list of all the Legend of Zelda titles, the games, and I realized that the Minish Cap is one of the only ones that I haven't played myself, and so I decided to give it a try. And so I've played through most of it through quarantine, but I have not beat it yet, and so I'm really excited to see how it ends. But it's such a fun experience, especially like the old little graphics that you're seeing. It doesn't look like maybe a whole lot now, but the gameplay and the boss fights and the dungeons, they speak for themselves. This is absolutely one of the best handheld Zelda games ever, and it's a blast to me. I had so much fun playing it during quarantine, and I hope to finish it real soon so I can add it to my checked off list of Zelda games that I have played. Another couple things about this Zelda game is the music in this game is super interesting, and even though it's like it's older and it's like lower sound quality because it's made for a Game Boy Advance, the songs are just compelling, and I find myself kind of humming along because it's interesting music. It's not just something that somebody threw together in a couple of seconds. It's definitely has some thought put into it, and lots of little like callbacks to older Zelda songs from Ocarina of Time all the way to the original Legend of Zelda title. If you can't tell, I'm a little bit of a Zelda geek. I really enjoy playing the Legend of Zelda. So Minish Cap, huge recommend if you haven't played it before. You can probably find a ROM of it on a computer or something like that if you don't have a Game Boy, but it is a blast and you should check it out. Number 3. Super Mario 3D World. Now, this is a Wii U only title at this point. Like I said a few minutes ago, I got a Wii U over the course of quarantine and got it from my brother-in-law. And when I went to the eShop right after I had set up my account, apparently Super Mario 3D World was a free game on my account. I don't know if I had it in the past sometime or what, but when I went onto the eShop, it was free. And so I downloaded it, and let me tell you, it maybe is gone a little bit under the rug because, you have Super Mario Odyssey, which came out for the Switch, and you have Super Mario Galaxy, which came out for the Wii. Not so many people had a Wii U, but Super Mario 3D World, while not as open world and not quite as open of a 3D environment to play around in, it's one of the tightest platforming 3D Mario titles ever. And I have had my share of fun with this game over the course of quarantine, and I've just been playing it for a couple of weeks now, but I've already managed to beat Bowser, and I'm playing some of the special worlds. After you beat Bowser in this game, you unlock a new world called Star World, and it's up in space, right? But it reminds me so much of Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo because, you have those special worlds where you use the star to warp up to it. And it just brings back so many memories. And like I said before, any Mario game where the platforming is super tight and you can do long jumps and triple jumps and use all these different power-ups, of course you're going to have my attention. But what I love about this game is that the better you are at it, the more rewarding it is. So if you're good at long jumps, you can complete levels much faster. One thing I did the other day was I was playing as Rosalina, and I realized a way that you could backflip off the wall, jump, spin, and make it up onto a platform that normally you would have to have a cat suit for. And that just felt so exciting and fun. And who doesn't love a good Mario game, especially one you've never played before in the middle of this quarantine time where you have a little extra time on your hands? This one has been a really fun one for me, and if you have a Wii U, I would recommend it. Rumors are this game may be coming to Nintendo Switch soon, and so if that's true, of course, you can play it there. Well, it's almost time for number 2, which I know you've been looking forward to, and up to this point, everything's been Nintendo, and not only that, but first party. I mean, you have Super Smash Bros., which is a Mario game, you have Super Mario World 3D, you have the Zelda title. All of these are Nintendo games. You can tell I'm a little bit of a fanatic about Nintendo games. Number 2 is a little different. Let's check it out. Number 2 is Dragon Quest XI echoes of an elusive age, and I guess this is actually Dragon Quest XI-S. This is the Nintendo Switch version, and I've played the fire out of this game just over the course of quarantine. I hadn't even touched it before quarantine started, but a friend recommended it to me and actually borrowed the game to me, and I started playing it. One of the best JRPGs I've ever played. It had story connections that called back to Chrono Trigger, which is one of my favorite games originally for the Super Nintendo. It had fighting elements that reminded me a lot of the classic Final Fantasy series. I mean, just simple spells and attacking with swords, and there's a defense stat and there's a magical resistance stat. It's easy to understand, and it's so much fun to get into. There's two elements of this game that are just incredible to me. One is the fully orchestrated soundtrack. Everywhere you go in the game, there's a brand new tune that plays, and it just like brings you into the game and makes you feel excited about fighting that next monster or about discovering that next town and finding out what kind of musical influence it's going to have, right? And then the second thing is really the story, the whole story of the game. Now, the boss fights, the dungeons, those are cool, but the story is what kept me going. Because throughout the game, it builds up slowly, and there's always feels like there's something missing. Like, I know that I'm about to fight this bad guy, but why? And why am I this special person? And what do my friends have to do with this whole story that's being unfolded? One of the most well put together stories that I think I've ever played through is in a role-playing game. I've obviously gushed enough about it. Let's get to what number one is. You probably already know what I'm about to say, but number one... Animal Crossing New Horizons. Of course, it's the game that everybody's talking about, everybody's playing, but even before it was a meme, before it was, the game meant to save us all from quarantine, which I don't buy into that. It was definitely something my wife and I were looking forward to. Samantha and I got it on day one, and we've been crafting our little towns and making friends with other people. My sister actually got the game too, so the three of us are always going to each other's towns and trying to save up money to pay off our mortgages, because that's what you do in video games these days. It's just been so much fun, and I'm right now I've finally got a 2-story house, and my shop is upgraded, and I've got a lot of pretty flowers in my town. It's just a really fun, relaxing, chill game for a quarantine time, where you can go on and spend an hour fishing or catching bugs, and it just feels so satisfying and like I said a minute ago, relaxing. The music is incredible in this game, and it's just, I can't say much more about it. It's a fun family experience, and Samantha and I and my sister have had a blast playing this together. That's it for this list. If you have not already, please make sure at the end card of this video to check out my top 10 favorite movies video. I put a lot of work into that video, and I think you guys would enjoy it if you like this kind of content. Finally, if you like videos about video games and just this kind of particular hobby that I have in my life, then please like this video and subscribe, because I want to do more of this for you guys if it's something that you will watch. So God bless you guys, and we will see you very soon. Thanks for checking out my last video. As always, all likes and comments and subscriptions are so welcome, and they help so much. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and look forward to our next stuff coming out soon. Be sure to check out my songs as well as my vlogs. God bless you. See you soon.